Namaste children, this is Jyoti Devgan from the SST department and today I am going to teach you the next chapter, the Delhi Sultans. This is the first part of the video. Did you notice that there was no mention of a kingdom with Delhi as its capital? That was because Delhi became an important city only in the 12th century. Delhi first became the capital of a kingdom under the Tomar Rajputs, who were defeated in the middle of the 12th century by the Chauhans of Ajmer. It was under the Tomars and Chauhans that Delhi became an important commercial center. Many rich Jain merchants lived in the city and they also constructed many temples. Coins were also minted here. They were called Dehli Wal. They were in a wide circulation. The transformation of Delhi into a capital that controlled vast areas of the subcontinent started with the foundation of Delhi Sultanate in the beginning of the 13th century. Now, talking about the Delhi Sultans and finding out more about them, although inscriptions, coins and architecture, they provide a lot of information, especially valuable are histories. Histories meaning Tariq. Now Tariq is a singular and Tawarikh is a plural. It is written in the Persian language, the actual language of the administration under the Delhi Sultans. The authors of Tawarikh were very educated people. They were very learned. They were secretaries, administrators, poets and courtiers who both used to guide the king and they used to maintain a record of events. Now keep the following additional details in mind. The authors of Tawarikh, they lived in cities, mainly Delhi, and hardly ever in the villages. Number 2, they wrote their histories for the Sultan only in want of rich rewards. They would get rich rewards from the kings. And last but not the least, third important point, these authors advised rulers on the need to preserve an ideal social order. Now, what was this social order? It was based on birthright and gender distinctions. Now, what is gender distinction? Which we talk about the gender biasness. That is, the males dominated the females. Now, a few examples of this male dominance. In 1236, Razia, the daughter of Iltutmish, became an emperor, but she was removed in 1240. She was removed because although she was much qualified than her brothers, but still she was not digested by the nobles. They were not happy with her and finally she was removed. This shows the gender biasness. Now there are two more examples. What Minhaj-e-Siraj thought about Razia. Minhaj thought that the queen's rule went against the social order created by God, in which women were supposed to be subordinate to men. Women were supposed to be dominated by the men. He asked in the register of God's creation Since her account did not fall under the column of men, how did she gain from all her excellent qualities? Although she was much more talented, but still people could not digest. On her inscription and coins, Razia has mentioned that she was the daughter of Sultan Iltutmish. This was opposite to the Queen Rudrama Devi from 1262 to 1289 of the Kakatiya dynasty of Warangal, part of modern Andhra Pradesh. Now, Rudrama Devi had changed her name on her inscriptions and pretended that she was a man. Another example of male dominance or gender biasness, another queen called Didda, who ruled in Kashmir. Her title is interesting. It comes from Didi, or the elder sister, an obviously affectionate term given to a loved ruler by her subjects. Now, talking about the preparation of a manuscript. You remember we talked about manuscripts even in your previous class. The handwritten records are called manuscripts. Basically, there are 4 stages of making a manuscript. The very first is preparing the paper. First of all, making of paper. Second is writing the text, whatever had to be written on that paper. Third step was melting of gold. Now, why was this gold melted? So that they could highlight, like you people use highlighters these days. During those times, they used melted gold to highlight those important words and passages. And last of all, preparing the binding. Binding meaning how to put all those manuscripts together. Now, talking about the circle of justice. Now, what is basically the circle of justice? It is like a cycle that goes on and on. A king cannot survive without soldiers, and the soldiers cannot survive without the salaries. Now, the salaries come from the revenue collected from the peasants, that is the farmers. But the farmers can pay revenue only when they are happy and rich. Now, this happens when the king promotes justice and honestly he governs his country or the kingdom. Now, moving on to this map number 1, the Delhi Sultans built many cities in the area that is now called Delhi. Now look at this map and let's locate Delhi. Now look at Delhi. Then Kuhna. Now if you see Kuhna here, then Siri. Look at Siri. And Jahan Panah. This is one of the old maps. Now switching over to the table 1 of the rulers of Delhi. Now basically Delhi had been ruled by 5 major dynasties. In Rajputs there were Tomars and Chauhans. Under the Turkish rulers it was Iltutmish and his daughter Razia, most important. Then switching over to the Khalji dynasty where Jalaluddin and Alauddin Khalji were the rulers. Moving over to the Tughlaq dynasty, and then switching over to Sayyid, followed by the Lodi dynasty.